I wanted to bring this story to you right here involving the latest update with the whole Michael Jackson leaving Neverland debacle. Now, before I get into it, for a while, Penny, you probably wondering who is that little boy that's in the picture with Michael Jackson? Why is he always there and why they always use his picture? If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is James Safechuck. So I believe he also was in a Michael Jackson commercial back in the 80s as well. So this James Safechuck, of course, knew him. He's not some random person he knew of Michael Jackson as well. And I would not be surprised if it was his family that put him up to doing this whole situation right here. But at the end of the day, the guy, just like Wade Robson, is also a liar. Now, the most recent thing that has come out so far, and which I'm going to read to you from Variety, is that the judge in a court decided to agree with Michael Jackson's estate that they can go ahead and basically file a huge grievance lawsuit against HBO for basically choosing to air what would become basically a smear campaign against Michael Jackson, again, a deceased man. So this is actually a slight win for his estate, because a lot of people thought that because Michael Jackson was dead that they wouldn't be able to go any further with it. But if you want to go ahead and try to clear this man's name even while he's not here, then I say go full throttle with it. And the judge has ruled to do so. And when I read this article, you're going to see how HBO pretty much exposed themselves with a certain word. And because I already skimmed through the article already, and we'll go over it. It says a federal judge is leaning towards granting the Michael Jackson estate's move to take HBO to arbitration in its dispute over the documentary Leaving Neverland. Well, fraudumentary. Judge George Wu issued a tentative ruling on Thursday in which he denied HBO's motion to dismiss the estate's case. Wu is expected to make the ruling final by the end of September. So right now it is only temporary. It's nothing set in stone, but it's headed possibly in that direction. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. The 4-hour fraudumentary features allegations of two lying-ass men, James Safechuck and Wade Robson, who say they were sexually abused by Jackson over the course of several years when they were young children. The Jackson estate argues that by running the fraudumentary, HBO violated a non-disparagement agreement from a 1992 concert film, The Jacksons' Dangerous Tour. The estate blasted HBO for not including their rebuttal to the allegations in the film and went to court seeking to compel a public arbitration of the contract dispute. HBO has said that the 26-year-old contract no longer applies. HBO attorneys led by Theodore Boltrus had sought to throw out the case under the California's anti-SLAPP statute, which discourages frivolous litigation intended to chill speech on issues of public interest. Wu had earlier suggested that HBO file the anti-SLAPP motion, but in his tentative ruling, he concluded that the statute does not apply to requests for arbitration. In court Thursday, Boltrus asked the judge to reconsider. It was filed to chill speech, he argued. It was filed to tell the world, don't talk about child sex abuse. A company like HBO may be able to fight back and move forward. Others might not be able to do that. Wu acknowledged that the legal issues in the case are close calls and that his ruling will likely be appealed. You're a big company. They are a wealthy estate, he told HBO lawyers. It's a clash of the titans. Outside court, John Branca, a co-executor of Jackson's estate, said that HBO had been trying to avoid a public airing of both sides of the story. I've never seen a media organization fight so hard to keep a secret, he said. We're saying let's get all the facts out there, not just two stories from two accusers with a financial interest. Boom. That's what we've been saying. It's nothing more than a money grab for those two and for this director of this fraudumentary. That's all it was, and it's all it will ever be. A spokesperson for HBO, and it's a money grab for HBO as well. A spokesperson for HBO said, we are waiting to see the judge's final decision. Brian J. Friedman, an attorney for this state, issued a statement slamming HBO for its wrongful conduct. HBO has tried everything possible to avoid having a trier of fact adjudicate their wrongdoing. Friedman said if HBO believes its action were proper, then there is no reason for them to try and hide behind procedural technicalities to avoid an arbitration or a trial. Whether in arbitration, federal court, state court, or the Court of Appeal, the estate of Michael Jackson will force HBO to be held accountable for its wrongful conduct. The estate will never stop until justice has been obtained. And it's sad that they have to continue doing this even after this man has been dead for over 10 years. HBO put a huge stain on its brand by deciding to allow this fraudumentary to be aired on its network. Because what they do is they shop the different documentaries or airings or whatever's shown at these film festivals to see if it's good enough to go on the big screen or if it's going to go on the small screen. It could be like Netflix or any of these other streaming services. And HBO jumped at the opportunity to air this shit. HBO's lucky that a lot of people did not pull out of their services, but I'm not sure how many did after they aired this. Like I said, there's a lot of hands that have gone into the further destruction of Michael Jackson's legacy. But I'll tell you this, it won't get me to stop saying I'm a fan of his music or a fan of him, period. It won't. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to turn the masses against this man, even while he's dead. That man has a lot of power in his deceased body than most have in their alive body. The reason I said that is because they're still trying to get this man even in death. That is some pathetic shit. It really is. I mean, it's bad enough they tried to get him as much as they possibly could while he was alive, but man, the guy can't even rest in peace. He just can't. Like his life became shrouded in and corroded in scandal for many years, and they're still trying to dig at this man as if he's doing something now. He hasn't been doing anything since June 25th, 2009, and it will never go past that. But in their mind, they just have to get him because they don't want to see him as the Negro that got away. The only thing that I fault Michael Jackson for, and Harvey has spoken about this on his channel, is that he was too trusting of a lot of people that he should not have given his trust to. That was one of his major cons. That was one of his major flaws, is he trusted too many people. He had a lot of yes men around him. That's very unfortunate. And that's another way that it led to his demise as well, because it allowed people to take advantage of him because he became too trusting. If you become too trusting of a person, or you don't put boundaries around people, or you don't put people in check, they will take advantage of you, whether they'll do it overtly or covertly. And a lot of times they'll do it covertly because a lot of people are these greedy bloodsuckers. It's like that song Backstabbers by the OJs. Smile on your face all the while try to take your place. Backstabbers. True song, true statements. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.